And good evening from Blue Devil Gymnasium on this Saturday night. Third game in a week, two of them conference games. We won both of those. And this is Quincy High Blue Devil basketball, non-conference style on mechasportsco.com. And welcome, everybody. I'm Jeff Wellman as we get ready for the end of a full week of basketball for the Quincy teams as the Devils win two in a row, beating Moline at Wharton Fieldhouse 71-56 on Tuesday. They are now 16-1, 6-0 there. Turnaround against Rocky last night with a 56-44 win to wrap out the first round of the Western Big Six, undefeated at 7-0. And, of course, they are now 18-1, 17-1 coming in. Thomas last night had 14, Clay with 11, Wires with 10, and Longcourt came in with 8. On the other side tonight, a transition from earlier in the week of speed-up ball as the Lincoln Railsplitters averaging 45.5 and giving up 45.3. They're wanting to keep that game pretty darn slow. And speaking of slow, Coach went right.
Oh, yeah, okay. There we go.
He wasn't a fast guy, but he could get up and down the court with that basketball. Coach Pettit joins me. A different contrast in tonight's game.
Well, yeah, this is one of those games, like we talked to Coach last night about. I mean, you've got, three different styles of basketball, that you're playing against, three very, very good teams that do their style well. And it's one of those things to where you've got to be able to adjust, especially in the postseason, with whoever you're going to play and, how you're going to play them. This game right here, Blue Devils need to get out, get after it, and get the pace up and down, because they want to score in the, we've been, 65-70 against this team would be great. I remember a couple of years ago, it's like first 1 to 50 wins. You know what I mean? So great challenge tonight for the Devils. They need to stay focused, do their job, and get out after this team, and speed the game up.
Indeed. We'll talk about some of the past games, and we'll talk to Coach when we come back. Coach's comments are brought to you by the Kunis Auto Group, Faith, Family, and Giving Back. It's the Quincy High Blue Devils, the Lincoln Railsplitters from Blue Devil Gymnasium, right here on mechasportsco.com.
For many, your home and auto are two of the biggest investments you'll make. With well-planned coverage from Pregame Insurance, you can rest easy. At Freiberg Insurance in Quincy, they're ready to talk with you about covering the things you care about most: your home, your car, and your family. At Freiberg Insurance, they'll be glad to review your insurance needs and put together a policy that fits you and your budget. Call 217-224-7774 and rest easy knowing you're covered by Pregame Insurance.
Dreaming of a new kitchen or bath that's as functional as it is beautiful? At Woodmart Building Center, we bring your vision to life. Choose from a wide variety of cabinetry finishes and styles to fit any space and budget. Our expert designers work with you every step of the way to create a space that's uniquely yours. From timeless classics to modern masterpieces, your dream kitchen or bath starts here. Visit Woodmart Building Center today. Find us at woodmartbuildingcenter.com or stop by our showroom at North 12th and Seminary Road, Quincy.
Bet you outdrive you this hole.
If you outdrive me, I'll take $10,000 off every car sold at Kunis Quincy this month.
Daddy needs a new ride.
And welcome back to the pregame show. Of course, Coach's comments are powered by Kunis Honda, Kunis Hyundai, Faith, Family, and Giving Back. With me, Andy Douglas, the head of the Blue Devils, and his assistant staff out here. Bonas is not here, by the way. He's out coaching. So, we got 2/3 of the week done. The biggest two were the conference games. A little bit different looks in both of them, but a little more high-powered games. And now we go non-conference. But let's talk about those two games and how you feel about how the squads played.
Yeah, it's this is a week, told our guys, this is a week that us as coaches, we circled on the calendar. I know it was important to them as well, but, you get a chance to go to Moline and play. You get a chance to have Rocky, two of the top teams in the conference, at home, and then you turn around for the third game of the week against Lincoln. Different different types of teams, different styles of play, different styles of defense, offense. And this is a week that we circled for a lot of different reasons. And I thought our group has done a really good job up until this point. Now it's just time to cap it off with the win tonight.
And it really sets us up for like a postseason when each night you might see somebody different. A lot of times we have a lot of similar teams, but we might have them transitions. Now we get a legend, Coach Alexander, second most wins in the state of Illinois. Of course, you and him were had that 1-2-2 rocking in there, so we know what that's all about. And this team really fundamentally sound. They're going to do things very right.
Yeah.
They're in no hurry. And, of course, they're averaging and giving up right around 45 points a game. And so, really, I mean, we know what the transition is when we come out.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a slower-paced game for sure. We know that going into it. Big thing for us is not settling for just, chucking up outside shots because we don't want to put in the work to make plays on the inside. I think this is a night where Keyshawn is going to have the ball in his hands quite a bit, scoring and then also facilitating out there as well.
By the way, when the last music pumped up that loud and we were talking about Coach Bonas dancing, we couldn't pick it up on the out there. So,
good.
So you don't have to shout too much on this one. Just now, if you want to do a little rapping with that, that's all good too.
Yeah, you don't want to hear this garbage music. It's not too often they get to play. I get to listen to Dave Matthews in here, so I'm not too happy about that.
And I actually sang last night, taking care of business in the postgame, since you can't do it legally. I think last year I played it for 10 seconds and it flagged us.
Yeah.
All right, so now tonight I imagine, too, even though we could fall back into that 1-2-2 like they do, we'll know how to attack the 1-2-2 because we played it. And then running-wise, I think really we want to go after it and make them get out of that and speed things up, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, we did a really good job last night of running in transition, getting some buckets there and having some opportunities. And the big thing for that is, you're playing a team last night that has 6 guys that rotate through. Tonight, talking to Neil a little before the game, they're down to 5 guys. So it's not like they have a big bench that they're going to be able to go to. So we want to try and turn this into a fast-paced game. They're a very disciplined team. So, I'm sure they're going to have a say-so on that. But, our will to run, our will to pressure defensively, get some steals and help that, lead our offense is going to be key tonight.
Coach Alexander's son still hanging with him all these years?
Oh, yeah. Gray's doing a great job. And I was over there talking to J.D. Summers' parents and, reliving some old days, just, thinking about the days. And I can't believe Neil's still coaching. We played against him and his son way back in the day, 1999, and still doing it.
Well, I joked up there earlier before I came down here that the year that Coach Alexander does retire, his son will probably retire the same year the year after because he'll be there just as long.
Right. That's a good point.
All right, well, good luck, and we'll talk to you after the ball game.
All right, man. Thank you.
And that's Coach Douglas. Coach's comments are brought to you by the QHS Auto Group, Faith Family, and Giving Back. When we come back, it's the Blue Devils as they host the Railsplitters right here on megasportsco.com.
If you're a business owner, a lot of things keep you awake at night. Your insurance shouldn't be one of them. With well-planned coverage from Pregame Insurance, you can rest easy. Call Freiburg Insurance in Quincy for a quick insurance review. They'll make sure your business coverage is up-to-date and thorough. Freiburg Insurance will work with you to put together a policy that fits your business and your budget. Call 217-224-7774 and rest easy knowing you're covered by Pregame Insurance.
When we don't, back on. And back at Blue Devil Gymnasium, the Mecca Sports Co. pregame show. 3 games in a week. That's the way you hope. That'd be a post game, usually like the old regionals were if you played a prelim game.
Well, no. We got 2. We got 2,
right.
Man. Tuesday, Friday. Probably a Tuesday and then Friday, Saturday. That's the gig.
And, well, the old days, you had more teams, it seemed like, in your regional, especially in Class A ball. And you didn't have 4 classes as well, so you did have more teams, and you got that extra game. There still is 3 if you end up being have to play that quarterfinal game, which means you're hardly getting by.
I hate when that happens.
Devils should not be anywhere near that. As the teams we're following, and Coach Bruner and I talked about that the last couple of days, obviously Alton, they're hosting, so you want to take the number 1 seed for us, so that Alton has to be number 2.
Yep.
Number 3 would maybe be Edwardsville, and maybe even a flip-flop with Alton because Edwardsville is playing good, and they play Moline tonight in non-conference action.
Well, and, you're looking at that, it's like you still got half the season through the Southwestern Conference down there with Edwardsville, East St. Louis, Collinsville, that whole bunch. So they're halfway through just like we are. We'll see who emerges out of there, as the big dog, so to speak.
You talk about halfway through. Back in the day, if you got to 33 wins,
oh my goodness,
you were all the way to the finals.
Oh, yeah.
I just was checking that out today and putting the rest of the schedules. As you can see now, I've got the entire Western Big Six all the way through the end of the season. And a lot of these teams are scheduling 30 and 31 games in now.
Yeah. Well, that's what you can do now with the IHSA, 31 games. So, the winner, if you want to go undefeated, you're probably going to be 36-0, 37-0, give or take, or, 34-3, or, but you're going to play 37 games, in the high school season now.
Indeed. Now, there are some non-conference games going on tonight, and I think if I remember right, East Moline has Morgan Park tonight.
Well,
we mentioned Moline taking on Edwardsville. I think it was a double game today. 2 games for Galesburg. They played Dunlop early in the morning, and then in the evening they're playing Comer. And I believe my other game, Geneseo's not playing tonight. I don't think Alleman's playing tonight. If they are, it's Quad City Christian. And Rock Island has Manual, but that is not tonight as well after they played. And Sterling and St. Viator, I think that's next week as well. I didn't put my dates on those.
Well, 'tis the season with the Martin Luther King, holiday up. I mean, there are a lot of very, very good Martin Luther King shootouts going on. And I remember taking my Marengo team up to the Moline one, playing Washington, who was ranked 2nd in the state. So, yeah, there's a lot of Martin Luther King stuff going on. And Quincy does not do that because, we got the Quincy shootout coming up, so, that's that's the way we roll on that. And the Quincy shootout coming up, that's going to be great this year.
Yep, that's next week, of course, as we get ready for the starting lineups in the national anthem here in our pregame show. Lights have not gone out yet, so, we talk about the Lincoln games of past, usually all pretty slow. And that one year we had them early, I think it was in Collinsville. So later in the season we had a conflict to get up there, and we did not make it. And it was an all 3-point night, and that was Jeremiah Talton's senior year on that one, I believe, when they were lighting them up. Our national anthem, we'll stop and pause, stand up, put our hand on our heart, and honor our country and our flag. And our national anthem there. And as the band finishes, our starting lineups are coming up. And, of course, they're brought to you by Blessing Health, Blessing Orthopedic, and Sports Medicine. We've got you covered from head to toe. Starting lineup comes up in a minute on mechasportsco.com.
From competitive youth sports to high school and college athletes to fitness enthusiasts, sports injuries can easily put you on the sidelines. Our orthopedic surgeons and sports medicine physicians are here to diagnose and treat your sports injuries should they arise. Every step of your journey matters to us, and when life throws you a curveball, trust Blessing Health's orthopedics and sports medicine team to get you back in the game. At Blessing Health, we've got you covered from head to toe.
Back to Blue Devil Gymnasium. Starting lineups coming for Lincoln first. They'll start off number 1, Blake Horn. He's a 6'3" senior. Number 3, that's Gabe Smith, 6'2" senior. Carson Comic. Number 5, junior at 6'3". Number 12, Brady Miller. And Carter Miller's here. I wonder if that's any relation. A senior at 5'10", and rounding out the starting lineup. I was looking for my other circle there, Coach. As I picked up there, I think I must have passed somebody by. I did. Brody Tungate, and he is a 6'3" junior. And, of course, the Railsplitters are coached by Mr. Neil Alexander, and they wear their road green and red, Coach's favorite colors, as he still wears his Clark Griswold Christmas hat. It's his green and red.
Well, it's one of those things to where it's cold outside. Yesterday I got down there, it was 55. This morning it was 25. And the wind was, out there at the Kunis flag, blowing straight out. I'm like, oh, it's cold.
There's a great one, Dean Martin. Baby, it's cold outside. I'll go ahead and save everybody there as we get ready for Titus Petty and the presentation. Sorry I didn't pull it up on the board tonight. Last night my remote, trying to get up there and get back down, took me out of my game plan. I'm in my lane when I'm doing play-by-play. That's the best play for me. And, of course, doing an interview before and after. And now your starting lineup for the Blue Devils. Max Wires out there at the free throw line, the senior, accepting the 5 seniors that will start for tonight. One guard, number 5, our point guard, Cameron Wires. We talked about 0 to 60 and point blank, no time at all. 5'10". BL3 does so much in the game. Number 12, 6'4". Dom Clay, number 14, 6'3". Mark Louthan, number 20 at 6'5", and rounding out the big man inside, number 42, Keyshawn Thomas, 6'6". Seniors leadership there, and they're coached by Andy Douglas. Assisted Bruce Bonas, Ryan Brown, and Jeff Obert, and of course Tom Lepper looking above on this team. And the Devils in their home white, trimmed in blue, and we are ready as the lights come back on, and it's time for some basketball. Guess I should flip my book from last night's Rock Island game. Check into this one. Railsplitters do have 7 kids on the bench. So I don't know if he meant by his main players, but Coach has enough out there to at least run some guys in at us. Devils, of course, Louthan will be in the center circle probably again. Coming at us on the tip. Glad to be with us tonight. Jeff Wellman and Dave Pettit trying to have a 3-0 week. Taking on the Railsplitters. I believe we have a 13-11 lead in the overall series, and the Devils win the tip. 1-2-2 as you expected. Both half court, 3/4 court will come out of the Railsplitters. Ball in the right block, comes out left corner. In fact, last night I called those opposite because I'm looking at them that way. I caught myself on that. In the left corner, Clay starts the drive. Back to the right corner with a pass. Shot for 3, no good. Keyshawn missed the shot, but Clay got the rebound. Devils with another chance. At the point is Tungate in that 1-2-2. Ball's down on the floor under the block. Last touch by Keyshawn. And it will go to the Railsplitters. We'll pick up their 1-2-2 the next time as the Devils jump into their 1-2-2 three-quarter court with Wires at the point, Clay and Longcourt half court, and deep Keyshawn and Lauthen. Coaching half court with the basketball. That's Kamnik. Into the right corner to the short corner. Short corner is Horn. Brings it back out. Good ball movement, as we mentioned. Pretty fundamental team, both on offense and defense.
You wouldn't expect anything less from a Neil Alexander coach team.
Put enough years in and you do things the right way.
Well,
that's how it happens. That's how you get to be the second winningest coach in the state. 1 minute played already here, no score. Devils in man-to-man in the half-court set. Tungate with the basketball, brings it to the right side. Lauthen had popped out on the left that side against Gabe Smith. Ball goes with the backdoor cut. Lincoln passes the ball, then loses the ball, and out of bounds, Blue Devil basketball. Devils ran that play down here a couple times, and I watched them practice a couple weeks ago where they run the baseline, help comes, they throw it to the opposite corner for the J. And here's the 1-2-2.
I'm going to tell you what, next year when they go 35-second shot clock, Lincoln will be a lot better.
Yeah, I think it's 2 years, Coach. I think
2 years?
Yeah, I think we started out this season. It's going to be in 2 years. We'll double check that.
Okay.
I was thinking about that today. On the left wing, 22-footer. No good by BL3. Coming in from the far corner on the weak side rebound. Keyshawn went up strong for that one and the putback.
Well, you shoot the ball from one side, it's probably going to go to the other side if you miss it. Keyshawn did a great job getting after it.
Clay's on the floor just in the front court for Lincoln. It's a jump ball. We'll go back to Lincoln since the Devils won the opening tip. Everybody helping everybody up down there. Dom was on the floor a lot last night. A lot of our guys, Keyshawn as well. And, of course, Duarte for their side was on the floor a bunch. Wonder how he felt this morning.
Well, you got to be sore. Got to be sore. I mean, you sit there and try to take charges on Keyshawn. Good luck.
I think I felt the way he should have this morning. Lincoln in the half-court set. Devils 2 minutes into the game on defense, leading 2-0. Backing it out with a dribble. Kamnik. He sets a screen then. Coming around the screen is Brady Miller. The QND Raiders lost today, and Carter Miller made it down here, and he's up watching the game. On the perimeter, 20-footer. Oh, a bank shot from 20 foot from Blake Horn. That's 2 nights in a row. Maybe Moline, that's 3 nights in a row we've seen that in our games. Devils in transition. Dom was trying to get it to the wing. It was taken away by Lincoln.
A little bit too quick on the pass there. Take it and shoot that 12-footer at the free throw line.
Another shot from outside for 3, no good. Lauthen with the rebound for the Blue Devils. Down the right side.
Got to make them stop you when you're in the middle with the ball.
Ball comes out around the perimeter, back to the left side, in the left corner. Keyshawn takes it down to BL3 on the right block. Bradley brings it out, check that, the left block. Now the ball works around the perimeter to the right side. Wires has it. Into the high post. Keyshawn turns, shoots from about 8 feet, no good. Getting the offensive rebound briefly. BL3, and then Horn knocked it away and got the ball.
Got to do a better job of hitting the offensive glass because there's a lot of open areas down there.
Lincoln with the basketball into the high post. BL3 on defense. Good hands on that side. Cameron Wires knocked the ball out. And Luke Niederhauser in the front rows with his kid Nash, and I think he got the basketball. 4:42 left in the first quarter. Lincoln leads 3-2. We don't expect this to be a low-scoring game because we expect the Devils to open things up. Off the right side is Greg Smith, back to the top of the key. Horn with the ball for the Railsplitters. With the dribble, picked it up soon. Went into the corner, driving the baseline. Ball goes out to the right corner quickly from the right wing to the top of the key. Three-pointer, no good there by Tungate. Rebound, Keyshawn Thomas.
Definitely a Lincoln pace here.
Well, a Lincoln score for sure. Wires picked it up in the corner, and it was a double team. He gets it out to BL3 to save it. Around the perimeter left corner, Mark Lauthen. Lauthen back to the top of the key. Dom Clay halfway through the first quarter. Wires trying to find an avenue. He'll send it to the right corner. BL3 in the right corner for 3. We only had one last night as a team. We've been shooting those up, and of course that's brought to you by Woodmark Building Center, 12th and Seminary Road.
Good ball movement. You had 2 extra passes on that one to get the wide open look.
Last night it was Jimmy Lauthen, Mark's dad, who jinxed us there. He said Woodmark's getting a lot of calls out there. Three-pointer no good for Lincoln. Tonight we're going to open that up. Rebound was Keyshawn, by the way, again. in the half-court set. Right corner, Keyshawn gets the ball, falling back, makes sure he's not out of bounds. He gets reversed to the left side. Three-pointer, no good. Keyshawn went up, tried to get it. Good rebound on that side. Komnick. And here comes Lincoln the other way.
Hate to say it, you got to attack the 1-2-2 and get into the seams. You know, we haven't been doing that. It's one pass and, you know, shoot.
Clay with a steal. Clay coming down, brought the defense to him. That's Gabe Smith. Little alley-oop there. Longcore with the layup. Give Clay the assist. Devils
Transition
up 7-3.
up and down, you know, is what they need to do.
Devils good job of the ball going inside, making them kick it back out. Good call there as Dom Clay came to help. Clay backed him off. Lincoln travels. Blue Devil basketball up 7-3. Not a bad crowd. The upper deck is not as packed as it was last night. Of course, you're playing
Rocky in here, you know.
Lincoln steals the ball in transition. Three-pointer over the basket. No good. Brady Miller missed the three. Dom Clay tracks down the rebound.
Now, see, that's the one thing. When you get that offensive rebound or defensive rebound, you got to push the ball. We're walking it up, letting them get set up. You don't want this zone to get set up.
Ball comes left side to Clay. Picking him right away is Horn. Back to the top of the key. And we got a foul up on the top. First one of the ball game. Brody Tungate. And Lincoln, first foul as well. Obviously. 2:14 left in the first quarter. All right, right now, if you looked, of course, we have 2 more minutes. We'd be on a 28-12 pace. That's definitely a Lincoln pace.
Yeah, Lincoln pace. Yeah, no ifs, ands, or buts. We got to get after it on the defensive end, pick it up, and get our transition offense going. Nice shot by Wires.
Wires did a great job of driving to the left side. The defense fell off him. Once he squared up, he realized he was wide open for the easy J.
Nice shot. Right now we're going man, three-quarter court. Good
Dom
steal.
Clay with a steal up. Throws it down with 2 hands.
Yep.
Dom Clay gets that steal. He's been cutting the lanes down on the passes like that all season, mainly recently here. A quick timeout by Lincoln with 1:42. Devils lead 11-3, but he's really been anticipating and getting out the deflections and going. And if he isn't getting the deflection, somebody else is. And then turning around and filling the other lane is Dom Clay.
Well, you know, Dom on the defensive end last couple of 3 games, you know, he stepped his game up a notch. Plus, you know what I mean? Last night against Marshall, you know, the very good sophomore from Rock Island, you know, coach said, we made 3 threes. Well, 2 of them weren't on Dom. And I'm like, you know, Dom, when he gets after it on the defensive end, stays focused and, you know, disciplined, you know, do what he's supposed to do. Man, he's so long and so quick. You know, Austin Peay's going to have fun next year.
Oh, I think so. And he's going to get stronger every year and maybe get a little taller.
Oh, yeah.
Substitutions. Checking down. Louthan's out of the game as well as Dom Clay. Jarius Rice Jr. came in. Also Milton Whitfield in the game. Staying in is BL3, Keyshawn Thomas, and Cameron Wires. With the basketball, 90 seconds left in the first quarter. That's Lincoln. Man-to-man coming from the Devils. Pretty much 5 on the perimeter. They do run a guy down to the post once in a while.
Yep.
Off the right side, Gabe Smith. Little handoff. Whitfield picks up well. Everybody's doing a good switch, or if they do go through, they're getting through on the screens fast. And they're not really screens, they're passes and a run by. Down to 1 minute left. This is how you kill a clock in a game. Whitfield, good defense, and a shot that was acrobatic. Brady Miller took the shot with his back to the basket.
Boy, and then we let them get their 1-2-2 set up. Makes things very hard because this is the best you're going to see in the state.
Long pass came all the way down here in the left corner to Keyshawn. He had Longcore inside or at the high post. Bradley didn't take a step forward. Defense closed out and took the ball away, and we had our first foul of the ball game.
You know, I hate to say it, but this is still Lincoln pace. You know, 11-5, you know, with 41 seconds to go, and they're going to get the last shot. No ifs, ands, or buts. So you're in a 40-point game right now. We need to get out and get after it.
It looked like you put Rice on the board. I thought BL3 was there, but we'll take the board's word. 27 seconds left in the quarter. Devils stay in the man-to-man. Keep looking for deflections. There's one right there. Cameron Wires deflected it. Keyshawn Thomas picks it up.
Push the ball.
18 seconds left in the quarter.
Don't let him get set up.
Longcore comes left side to Rice Jr. He gets stopped by Gabe Smith. Doesn't let him get his dribble. Bradley in the left corner. Skips over to the right side. Wires at the point. 2 seconds left. Shot pulled up from the left corner. Oh, off the iron. As the buzzer hit, Loncor had a good look. Lincoln wasn't quite there yet, and we played through one quarter. The Blue Devils 11, the Railsplitters 5, and you're listening and watching Blue Devil basketball on mechasportsco.com.
Start your day off the right way at Hardee's.
We have new items for our breakfast 2 for $5. You can get a biscuits and gravy, sausage egg, or cinnamon roll. Any 2 of those for $5. You can't beat a made-from-scratch biscuit here at Hardee's. Sausage egg, biscuits and gravy, or a cinnamon roll. 2 for $5.
Is there any place better for breakfast than Hardee's? Come see for yourself. Hardee's at 30th and Broadway, Quincy.
Back to Blue Devil Gymnasium. One quarter in the books. Devils lead 11-5. After being down 3-2, that three-pointer banked by Blake Horn. Devils ran off 9 straight points. And Miller got the basket to wrap up the quarter. And we're up 11-5. And again, the pace is definitely theirs. We've done a good job of getting deflections, getting out in transition. But you got to speed them up to do that, because when they're in the offense, 35-second shot clock, he could probably put 3 of them or 4 of them up there before he decides to shoot.
Well, when you're playing this kind of team, and you're going to see the best 1-2-2 you're ever going to see with Coach Alexander.
Devils with the ball to start the quarter off. Jareus Rice Jr. Ball into the left corner. Cameron Wires. Looked like he was going to take a 3. Now he gets trapped after one dribble. The pass between Gabe Smith's legs. Luckily, Rice was there to pick it up.
Well, he tried to bounce off his leg. He missed.
It went right between them.
Yep.
In the right corner is BL3. Drives.
Yes.
Oh, a nice kick there and a pass. Give the assist to BL3. Give the basket to Milton Whitfield.
That's what you need to do. You need to get into the seams, get into the lane, and it'll be easy. But this is a tough defense to penetrate.
There are gaps. Again, if the guys don't all communicate and pick up each other when they do make a switch or pick somebody else up, that being Lincoln. In the half-court set with the basketball. Miller sends it left side to Smith. Flashes to and goes down to the left corner. Smith picks up his dribble. Into the corner now. Help comes from the weak side. That's Tungate. Almost got a screen out there, but Komnick realized he was going to have an illegal screen. He sends the ball into the left corner. Inside 7 minutes left in the half. That's the second quarter. 13-5. This is the ones where you have to be patient, but what they're doing is wearing you down to where you get out of position, just one player, so they can pull off a shot or maybe a quick one to the basket. Here's one from 22 feet out front. And nothing but net after all that. Tungate hits the three-pointer, the second one for Lincoln in the ball game. 13-8. Devils still up as Lincoln drops back into the 1-2-2 three-quarter court. Left side Rice, right back up to Wires. To the right side, BL3. High post is Whitfield. Now Thomas comes up into the high post. Waves Milton down to the right corner. Flashing into the high post. Kicks it into the right corner. Milton Whitfield lost the hand on the ball briefly, but still got a good 3 up. Off the iron, rebounded by Komnick.
Well, it took 2 Lincoln Railsplitters to box out Keyshawn on that last one.
Keyshawn was flashing in from that right wing. Here come the 5 guys. They'll stop again for a cup of coffee down at the post, but nobody's going to try to post anybody up for the Railsplitters. Double team out in the corner.
Ooh.
He got out of it and brought it out to the top of the key. Gabe Smith.
Thought we had a good opportunity to trap down in the corner.
It was real close before he dribbled out of that trap. That was smart, too, to be able to dribble out and not pick the basketball up, as the traps are intended to do sometimes. Here on the right side is Miller. BL3 on him. Komnick, who just hit that three-pointer, had the ball, and then he passes to Gabe Smith. That was Coach Oberhu's recipient, and he's on the bench, so Blue Devil basketball. Wires is going to get a break. Dom Clay back in, so Rice Jr., BL3, Dom Clay, Milton Whitfield, and Keyshawn Thomas for the Devils, matching up on that 1-2-2 three-quarter court.
Well, once again, we take the ball out of bounds instead of turning it over and getting in transition offense.
Pulling up, 14-footer. Shot was blocked. BL3 thought he beat his man around. I asked him about the brace he was kind of wearing on his wrist as he goes in there and gets a steal now. BL3, he's going to go in himself. Two-hand dunk. Keyshawn was down there and looked at him for a brief moment, but then he realized sometimes making that extra pass on a situation on a 2-on-none, it's better off to take it yourself.
Keyshawn down there laughing at him, saying, "Oh, dude, come on now."
BL3 didn't want to get too many assists in the first half. Dom Clay knocks it out of bounds. We got to give a little loving on that. Keyshawn gets a break, so Louth into the game. You know, unlike Jarius early in the season when we had that game where he had some wires way down the court, and he goes, I'm better off running to you. I'm a running back.
I don't want to pass the ball.
4:30 left in the first half, 15-8, Devils with the lead. Back in the man-to-man. Railsplitters on the left side of the ball. Back to the top of the key. That's Tungate. He's got Dom Clay on him. Right side, Gabe Smith into the right corner. They don't really set screens either. Again, it's just flashing through.
Well, yeah, it's all motion offense.
That all came out sometime in the 90s, it seemed like. There was motion before, but it seemed like more ran that, and they ran the flex, too. People did. Good drive from the left side. Clay gets beat on the left side. Dom's going to commit the foul. It'll be his first, the Devils' first of the quarter. But Tungate will go to the line for a chance at the blue collar after he just hit the three-pointer conventionally.
I do not like the pace of this game. You know, they're hanging around. You know, we're halfway through the second quarter. It's 15-10. You know, do not like the pace of the game.
And the pace gets slowed down whether our defense picks it up or not. The pace gets slowed down when Lincoln goes to the offensive side.
Well, when the ball goes through the hoop, they're setting up their 1-2-2, you know, getting after it. And this is a very good 1-2-2.
They stretch it out as well, and they know where their men are at in their assignments. BL3 has the ball, brings it left side to Clay. Now Dom's going to bring it up. Right side, Rice Jr. Whitfield's in the high post. Laughlin goes to the low post. BL3 from the left corner. Good. BL3 hits a three from the corner.
Well, once again, you have the paint touches with you know, Rice, you know, getting in there and then kicking it out for a wide open look. That's what you got to do. You got to penetrate the 1-2-2, and I know it's tough.
Tungate travels, drags his feet. By the way, that three-pointer was brought to you by WoodmartBuildingCenter.com. Jack McKenzie way. No substitutions right now for the Devils. 18-11, Devils lead with 3:20 left in the first. Clay across the timeline. He stares at Miller in front of him. Tungate at the point. Preston Short came in. He's also at the high post. Playing the low post is Horn and Komnick. 4 on the perimeter. Whitfield in the high post. Clay goes into Whitfield now in the low post. Nice spin around. Good height. Misses the shot. Laughlin kept it alive. Ball's on the floor. And a quick timeout called. Lincoln's on the floor. Good job by Blake Horn to realize it, because the Devils were going to reach in for a jump ball and ultra possession arrow. So 30 seconds for a timeout. 2:55 left. And by the way, Bradley's hit 2 3-pointers. 5 more, and he ties Jeremiah. He came into the game needing 7. And as we mentioned last night, he passed Jeff Klingler. He is now in 3rd place. He's got a couple hundred more points before he gets to Jack Kramer, so we won't have to talk about it much. On the other side, Keyshawn is real close to Gary Phillips. Gary's at 12:36. I want to say Keyshawn's within 12 points, so we'll keep an eye on that one. And then above him will be Larry Moore, but that's going to be another 34 points ahead at 12:70. More importantly.
Now, can you imagine Larry Moore at the 3-point line?
Or John Ernst, or Jim Wisman.
Oh, Lord.
Everybody would elevate them. Didn't come into what, 83 maybe?
I thought it was 86.
86, you're right.
Hey, well, I don't know if I'm
think
right,
you're right
or not.
No, I think you are right. I was at the college coaching the women at the Lady Hawks at that time. Here comes Lincoln in the set.
I didn't even know I wanted to coach at that time.
That's right. You decided to wait. Right side in the corner. 3-pointer, no good.
Good challenge.
Whitfield went up high to get the weak side rebound. He
Push
went up
it.
over Rice on that one. BL3
push
brings
it,
it left
push
side.
it. Oh.
Clay bounces it off. BL3. Then goes and
Off of
tracks
BL3's shoulder. I don't like when they get set up.
Well, and I don't like, too, when Dom gets a little upset at that, and then they're talking amongst themselves about it. He got lucky. He didn't stay there.
That's it. Attack right there.
Dom drives hard. Misses. Weak side. Mark Lauthan gets the rebound, put back.
You got to attack the seams. Attack the seams.
And with 2 guys helping out, they gave Lauthan the opportunity on the weak side to get the rebound and the putback. 20-11, 2 minutes left, first half action. From Blue Devil Gymnasium. Almost another travel. Of the 3 guys, one did call him. Yeah, I thought he kept his foot down on that one. Komnick, but it's a travel 2 in a row.
I didn't see it, but.
No, I didn't either. Now, the last one I did see the drag. Substitutions. Whitfield and Rice Jr. out of the game. Back to our starters.
And once again, we let them get set up in the 1-2-2. Gonna make it tough, but we got to attack the seams.
That was basically the official holding the ball until everybody got in and out of the court. Half court set. Clay to the left side, BL3. Smith closed down. It comes back out to Dom. Into the right corner, Wires. That's the one good thing when the pass goes. These guys move. Top of the key. No good. Clay. Rebound. Tipped around. Louthan kept one extra tip. Keyshawn picks it up. Devils with another offensive possession, too. Around the left perimeter. Keeping it up.
Good
BL3.
patience by the Devils.
And Gabe Smith just had an arm out there. Sticked out when BL3 tried to pass him. His first of both quarters, it was 1-1 in fouls. So you don't see a lot of fouling out of this either. Ball inbounded. Dom Clay from the left corner. Drives in hard.
Stepped on the out-of-bounds line.
Yep, he was making a good move and needed to have a half a size smaller shoe size. And the turnover, because he was setting up to get back out to a 45 for the layup.
And like what the Blue Devils doing in the second half, attacking the 1-2-2, getting in the seams, and either making the pass or kicking it out for a wide open look.
Tungate with pressure in the backcourt. Cameron Wires on him. He gets it across the timeline. Oh, and Wires does a good job of tipping that ball.
Good job. No, he hammered him. Come on now.
Wires does a good job of tipping, but the problem is then the guy makes the rest of the move. That's when the body contact comes to the chest. He's got to get a little more distance and almost get around him to make that tip.
Well, he's got to pick his spots.
Right.
When the ball's out there open and loose, you go after it. Oh, good. Ooh.
Dom Clay that time realized his foot was out of bounds after he tipped the ball. Went out, was going to come back in. 1:02 left first half. Stick around for halftime. We'll break it down. See if we can't find that score. Sometimes they're hard to find. Moline, Edwardsville, I'm sure love to know how that's going. Inside a minute, Lincoln with the basketball. Devils with a 9-point lead. Gabe Smith had some crossovers on Louthan. Good defense. Back left side, three-pointer no good. Keyshawn Thomas with the rebound. Tungate missed the three. 45 seconds. BL3 out high, getting hand checked a couple times. Down to 37 seconds.
More than a couple.
1-2 cha-cha-cha, I think there. Wires now with 30 seconds. Dom Clay also out at the half-court line. Down in the short right corner is BL3. In the left corner is Louthan. On the right wing is Keyshawn Thomas. Now Louthan comes baseline, and we got three guys set up on the opposite side. Yep, Mark's going to come back to this block. Down to 12 seconds. Check that, 13 seconds and counting. Starts to set the offense.
Let's start going. Come
Wires
on now.
Comes out. Coach Alexander says make the foul. I don't know if he told him to make it, but Miller committed the foul in second. And I think because they're setting up their play to go. That's why you almost started a few seconds earlier.
Well, I tell you what, if they're going to make that kind of foul, you got to start with about 12, 13 to go.
BLC to the back set. BL3, and with the left-hand scoop, BL3 hits. The long shot hits the backboard, and that's how we'll end the first half. Bradley hits the basket. Devils on a 7-point run to end the quarter and lead 22-11 at half.
Well, and, to be honest with you, we're beating Lincoln at their game. You know what I mean? They want to slow it down. They want to do their thing, but we're beating them at their game. The last half of the second quarter, with them slicing through the lane, making the extra passes, and attacking the zone instead of sitting out there passing around and shooting threes. The Blue Devils have stretched this lead out.
Indeed, as long as the Devils are scoring, we know our defense will pick it up on the other side. It's halftime. The Blue Devils lead 22-11. Stick around. Halftime show here on MeccaSportsCo.com.
If you're a business owner, a lot of things keep you awake at night. Your insurance shouldn't be one of them. With well-planned coverage from Pekin Insurance, you can rest easy. Call Freiberg Insurance in Quincy for a quick insurance review. They'll make sure your business coverage is up to date and thorough. Freiberg Insurance will work with you to put together a policy that fits your business and your budget. Call 217-224-7774 and rest easy knowing you're covered by Pekin Insurance.
Dreaming of a new kitchen or bath that's as functional as it is beautiful? At Woodmart Building Center, we bring your vision to life. Choose from a wide variety of cabinetry finishes and styles to fit any space and budget. Our expert designers work with you every step of the way to create a space that's uniquely yours. From timeless classics to modern masterpieces, your dream kitchen or bath starts here. Visit Woodmart Building Center today. Find us at woodmartbuildingcenter.com or stop by our showroom at North 12th and Seminary Road, Quincy.
Bet you outdrive you this hole.
If you outdrive me, I'll take $10,000 off every car sold at QHS Quincy this month.
Daddy needs a new ride.
Back at Blue Devil Gymnasium, halftime. We played 16 minutes to go. And the Devils lead 22-11. After one quarter, the Devils after being down 3-2 to start the game off, put together a nice 9-point run to get up 11-3. Lincoln would score the last basket of the first quarter, and the Devils led 11-5. Second quarter, Devils were up 15-11, ran the last 7 points off. So 22, they're on an 11 pace, 11-11, but the defense gave up 6, and they're on that pace for 22. So we've got a 44-22 game, which shows us how good we are on defense, and then also shows where Lincoln wants to play this game.
Well, and, like I say, this is the third challenge of the weekend. Lincoln, they want to play in the 40s, and the Blue Devils, gosh, if they hit 50 tonight, 55, because Lincoln's going to have to start, taking some chances, on the defensive end, which will open things up. But I thought the second half of the second quarter, they did a much better job of attacking the zone, getting in the seams, getting into the paint, and either scoring or kicking it out for wide open threes. And that's what you got to do against a good 1-2-2. And I'm going to tell you what, this is the best 1-2-2 you will ever see. How Coach Alexander does it, and he's done it for 35 years, so, I mean, it's one of those things to where the Blue Devils are adjusting to their opponent, and coming out ahead of the ball game.
Discipline is the key, and that is it for Lincoln. They are a disciplined team. As you see their offense, they use a lot of time. They will have issues, and Coach Alexander may be retired by that time when the shot clock does come into play. But they do the same thing on defense, and, it'd be nice to get back right away and kick it. But I think they've got a couple guys back immediately, and they jump into that 1-2-2 3-quarter court pretty fast.
Oh, yeah. Well, and a lot of the times where we're getting the ball, it's out-of-bounds situation. It's not like we're getting the defensive rebound, and going the other way. It's them making a bad pass because of our defense. Then we have to take it out of bounds, and they set up that 3-quarter court, ball press. And, it's a tough nut to crack. It really is. I mean, they're active. The kids are getting to their assignments. That's why the drive's going to be big, second half. And if we can get out in transition, get the rebounds, get the steals, they don't really, run a whole lot, and they don't make a lot of turnovers, so that's tough to do. So this is going to be one of those knockdown, punch-in-the-mouth games, that, the first half, Blue Devils have done what they're supposed to do. Second half, let's get after it and push this thing out.
We have gotten a couple breaks. We've gotten a couple tips. Dom and BO3 both with two-hand dunks on that one. Keyshawn's only got one bucket, but we haven't had to go down low to find him, although he can find some gaps down there. But he has gotten rebounds tonight. That's been the nice thing. It's usually one and done out of Lincoln because Keyshawn's down there picking up the board.
Well, yeah, and Keyshawn, I still think we need to find a way to get him down on the block and get him the ball because, Lincoln doesn't have anybody that can guard him. I'm sorry, Lincoln, but you don't have anybody to guard him. But getting it down there, that's another scenario.
BL3 leads the way for the Devils in the first half. He has 12 of our 22. Other than that, we have 5 guys with a bucket each. So we're getting some distribution out there. BL3 is doing his job. By the way, if you have not heard Rico Clay Jr.'s name the last 2 nights, there's a reason. If you remember last year, Lucas Austin for Sterling did not make a key game against us. He was off on a football trip going to Division I. And, of course, Rico has signed with Illinois State, and they've got a 2-day event, weekend event, I guess, for the football team That's the team that's going to be paying your college and ask for you to make a commitment there. And so Rico's taken a weekend off and done that.
You know, with this new NIL stuff, hey, you know what I mean? Yeah, Rico needs to show up, sign a few autographs, you know, maybe walk out with a little bit of money. I don't know how this works, but, you know, it's one of those things to where, yeah, you got to show up at that, you know, especially when you put your name on the dotted line.
Yeah, and I don't think so much that the endorsements and all that has much to play into that as it does the team and what they have set up when they bring their players in and the commitment they said, look, if you're going to play for us, and by the way, you know, and I don't want to get on a long soapbox on the whole college game and everything else, but folks, it was good in the past. You got your college education or some part of it paid for. That is a value there that if you put the number on that alone, a lot of people will say, yeah, but we have to go to practice. We do more stuff that the other kids do. Well, guess what? If you don't want to do that, become a student, but you get to play basketball. And even if you're on the bench, you're part of a team. And when you go to apply for that next job, and let's say, I'm going to go Mizzou since we were down there last week. Danny Stevens is down there from Southeastern. He's on the end of the bench. He gets done. He goes out for a job interview. The guy says, hey, you play for Mizzou. You got your foot in the door already, and you get to travel places that other guys don't get to travel. And so, and yes, there were a lot of years, and I know they've tried to rein it in, but there's extra weight rooms, extra food, and all that kind of stuff. They've had to rein that in a little bit, but you have the opportunity, and it is a great opportunity to get endorsements and money and all that kind of stuff, but that is not the main reason we go to college, and it's not going to be able to change because that monster was let out a long time ago. And hold on, let me get off of that Pandora's box, and that is my soapbox on that one. We're never going to be there. Pretty soon you're going to have an opportunity like college coach where you play 2 years at the junior college, you play 4 years, right? You play 6 years. There's going to be a time when high school comes in and says, listen, we're going to give you 2 more extra years too. You can play 6 to play 4. No, and it better never get down to this level. And with that soapbox, we'll take a break at halftime. Devils lead 22-11. You're listening and watching Blue Devil Basketball on MeccaSportsCo.com.
If you're building a house, remodeling an older home, thinking about a new deck, or need a whole new kitchen, Woodmart is your project partner. Since 1978, Woodmart has been the most trusted building materials and kitchen and bath design company in the Quincy area. At Woodmart, you'll find enthusiastic, experienced professionals helping you through every phase of your project. We offer smart advice for the contractor or do-it-yourselfer and top-quality materials. Woodmart Building Center, 2000 North 12th, Quincy, your project partner since 1978.
Are you a contractor? If so, listen up. Freiberg Insurance in Quincy, a Pekin insurance partner, is known for providing the best contractor coverage in the area. They've thought of everything, from covering your facilities to protecting your tools and equipment while on the road, and even your employees. Ready to learn more? Call Freiberg Insurance at 217-224-7774 and let them help build a Pekin insurance portfolio that protects your business, your employees, and your livelihood.
Back at Blue Devil Gymnasium here in the break, we were talking about Ralph Wires and how he's been playing. I saw you had a double-double the other night. I believe it was 10 or 11 points, 10 rebounds from the big man. I was going to say 10 assists, which it could be quite as well. Now, if he has 10 blocks in a night, we'll call him Chloe Nicholson.
Well, you know, that's one thing playing for Carl Sandburg. You know, I know the teams he's going to be playing. You know, he's going to get acclimated to college basketball real quick.
Of course, came down and beat John Wood early in the season. A lot of those guys went out on that Wednesday night. We're ready to start the second half. Jeff Wellman, Dave Pettit. Lincoln has the basketball to start it off. Devils with their lineup. Wires, Clay. Louthan, BL3. That's Loncourt. And Keyshawn Thomas. Man-to-man coming from the Devils in the half-court set. Gabe Smith in there. Left corner is Komnick. Back to the point. The number on the front small, but at least the number on the back is big. I like it. Blake Horn wears number 1. Tungate wears number 10. And rounding out my last guy, spinning with the basketball right now, is Brady Miller.
A little bit more defensive intensity from the Devils here to start the third quarter.
Yep. And Lincoln still keeps their movement. They do a good job moving out the basketball. Driving through and losing the handle on the ball, but hitting the floor. It's going to be the first foul of the second half. Louthan's going to be called for the foul, his first. Devils first. He came through 3 guys, but then he grabbed the ball like he was going to be a running back. He got knocked to the floor. Lincoln basketball.
A little bit too much body contact from Cam on that one.
to the left side. That's Miller. Back to the top of the key. Devils in that man-to-man. Cut it to the basket. Wow. Wires had his hand up, but that's the problem. You get your hand up and you don't step away. Miller slid in a little bit, and it wasn't very much of a foul.
Well, he got his hand up, but the other hand was down on the hip. Kind of gave him a little bit of a push.
That'll be Cam's first. Check that second. Second foul for the Devils. 7:18 left in the third quarter. Yeah, of all the fouls we saw somebody going to the basket, that was pretty passive.
That was very passive.
A foul's a foul's a foul. There you go.
And we're okay with that. As long as we're aggressive on the defensive end, I like the push now. Go.
1 out of 2 on the free throw line. Devils set up in their half-court set now. They started the push. Once they saw the secondary wasn't there, we kick it back out to the offense. Wires working around a screen from Clay. Hesitates, bounces it on the block. Good job there. And on the left block was Keyshawn. Made a big step to the basket and off the glass.
Once again, the penetration against the zone, got to the elbow. Little bounce pass, easy layup.
Devils with a 9-point run going back to the first quarter. Check that the first half. Shot and miss there. That was Komnick, rebounded on the weak side.
Good job by Dom getting his fingertip on it and pushing it out.
Dom has it. On a pass. He turned to BL3. And Gabe Smith stepped up, took the ball and all the way. And as soon as he turned, it was going to be a long pass anyway. But it was red. Boy, I'll tell you what, it was telegraphed. Morse code, whatever you want to use there. Gabe Smith knew what was going on.
Too many long passes, too high. Can't attack the zone.
Well, you realized he did it too. Clay, left side. Three-pointer, no good. Keyshawn, good job there on the call. John Shield had that call. As on the weak side, Keyshawn went up and was making a shot. So instead of just being a foul and down underneath, it'll be 2 shots for Keyshawn. First time for him to be on the charity stripe tonight.
Well, and that's one thing, with them playing that 1-2-2, and it's a very good 1-2-2. Rebounding on the weak side, is going to be big for the Blue Devils. So they need to make sure they give a good effort, getting those offensive rebounds, which Keyshawn did last trip down.
Komnick, the foul on the other side, his first, and the first for the Railsplitters. Keyshawn looks perfect on the line that time, 2 for 2. Devils lead 26-14, 6 minutes left in the third. Devils back in their man-to-man. Gabe Smith passed it off. Komnick. Boy, if anybody fouled him, it was Keyshawn on that one. It could have been the foul through on the hand, but Lincoln gets another opportunity. Shot taken. Keyshawn gets the rebound.
Another board by Keyshawn.
Yeah, he went up and he did hit the hand, but I think it was after the follow-through.
Well.
But you get the call a lot of times. Just like coming back down to the floor, you got to give a guy space. BL3 started to make a move to the basket. He was fouled.
Well, once again, attacking the zone. You got to attack the seams of the zone, and BL3 did a good job on that one.
Gabe Smith, his second foul. Devils get the ball in play. They're in their half-court set. Here's a lob from the weak side. Boy, that was just a little high. BL3 from the right side. Dom had to go up with one hand to throw it down. Got a finger on it. That's about it.
Good job switching on the man-to-man defense by the Blue Devils.
In the corner. Get that ball. That was Komnick. BL3 shut it down. Back to the top of the key. Tungate goes right side. Cutting back door. And Cam fouls on that backdoor cut.
That's his third of the quarter, right? How many has he got for the game?
He's got 3. He's got 2 in the quarter and 3 for the game.
Okay.
And the thing is, when they run that perimeter, as going to the line now will be Miller, they run that perimeter action around the outside, but then every once in a while, a guy will dive in, and that's what happened on that play.
Yep.
He dove in, and Wires found himself a step behind. Tried to block the shot. Instead, committed the foul, and Jareus Rice Jr. will come in. Miller hits the free throw. So Rice Jr., Clay, Louthan, BL3, and Thomas. Second one up, 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. On the night, 4 for 5 for the Railsplitters, 26-15. Devils with the, check that, 26-16. I missed one there, how they got to 16. Shot from the left corner, Louthan, no good. We're going to double check that on that board. In transition, Lincoln has the basketball inside 5 minutes in the third quarter. Back to the top of the key. Shot from 3, no good. Rebound, Rice Jr. Shot was taken by Horn.
Good job of boxing out by the Devils.
Okay, it is 3. I just looked down. We have 3 free throws in a bucket. 5 plus 11 is 16. Devils in the half-court set against the 1-2-2. BL3. It was a lob inside, and it was really, the spacing was short, but it was a nice little short pass. Not to use short twice in the same sentence. Keyshawn gets the basket. BL3 with the assist.
Well, once again, getting into the seams and making that extra pass.
Devils on defense. Another layup almost. Tungate. They'll call a foul on the floor.
I think it's BL3.
For Bradley, it's his first. For the Devils, they're 4th in the quarter.
Now tonight, if you want to watch some more basketball, you've got Santa Clara, where BL3's going tonight, playing Gonzaga at 9 o'clock on ESPNU.
Oh, good. BL3 comes down in transition, pulls up from the 3 from the left side. BL3 for 3, and of course brought to you by WoodmarkBuildingCenter.com.
Good pull up, wide open, pushing the ball once again.
Devils back on defense. Gabe Smith has the ball left side, back to the top of the key. That's Komnick. He rolled to the basket, did not get the pass to him. Lincoln brings it in. They stop. Horn picks it up right at the charity stripe, back out on the perimeter. They're trying to drive. At least they're making their gaps, and the Devils are shutting them down.
Very good defense by the Devils.
Devils are shutting anything down, any drives to the basket. Back out high. Keep an eye on it, Coach. I got to pick up my pencil from down low. I just dropped it. Devils get it on the floor. Clay keeps it alive. Devils get the basketball. In transition, right corner. BL3 pulls up for 3. Good. BL3 for 3 from the corner.
Well, that's a spot down there in between the wing and the corner, that the 1-2-2 has trouble guarding. He took one step down the corner. Guy didn't come out, nailed the 3.
Timeout taken with 2:52 left in the third. 34-16. 1, 2, 3, 4 3-pointers by BL3. He is 3 from tying Jeremiah Talton, 4 from taking the overall 3-point lead forever. And, of course, he passed Jaden Smith, who was in the number 2 slot.
Well, you've got a lot of kids here that have been playing since they were freshmen, so, climbing up the list, as good as they are, shoot, it doesn't get any better than this. I mean, this is going to be a historic season, as far as I'm concerned.
Of course, after the regular season, we want to complete it out with a good run in the postseason. We're going to have some good competition out there, especially starting off. If we get the number 1 seed, and that's the if, because we got a lot of ball playing to go. But you got Alton and Edwardsville as well, and it depends because Alton will take a host, and you'd rather be instead of
Granite City.
Yes.
No ifs, ands, or buts, and then let's go. Where we go after that?
Collinsville.
Oh, I love the purple Indian.
Coach Pettit only likes blue and white, by the way. He does not like purple. He does not like green and red.
And I have, different colors of blue that I like, too. So, that's the nature of the beast.
Especially the Chicago Cub blue, Coach Pettit, lives up that way. But you would still go to Wrigley Field, though.
Oh, yeah, if the Cardinals are playing.
There you go. Lincoln has the basketball, 2:45 left in the third.
Or if Skeens is pitching for Pittsburgh, I go watch that.
34-16. Baseball will be here before you know it. We're still playing golf when Cunis adds.
Oh, pitchers and catchers come February 9th, I think, something like that, because the Cubs are starting early.
Lincoln has the ball, 5 on the perimeter. Devils playing some good man-to-man. Flashing up to the high post. That was Horn. Rice got there just a little late there with a little body contact. His second foul. Devils 5th. So the last 2:23 of the third, we're shooting 2 shots. On the other side, 2 fouls on Lincoln. Lincoln's got a total of 5 fouls. They play fundamental, and they keep their distance.
Well,
they don't play with the hands.
Well, they play the 1-2-2, so they're going to have less fouls, obviously. The Blue Devils are getting out there trying to, man-to-man, get in their face, push it, So, it's obvious tonight that Quincy Osgood should have more fouls than Lincoln.
8-point run just got answered there by Lincoln with that free throw. Second one no good. Milton Whitfield, who just checked in, got the rebound. Good job by the Devils there. So our lineup as it goes right side to Clay. Starts to drive baseline, picks it up in the short corner. All the way from the short corner on the right side to the left block with a pass. Keyshawn gets the bucket. Give Clay the assist.
What a pass by Don. What a pass.
And BL3 over there playing defense on Tungate. Almost at half court. Ball last touch by Tungate. So it will go Blue Devils. And we've got a sub, Bryce Vajovich. And that's one of the only subs we've seen so far tonight for Lincoln.
Yeah, the Blue Devils stretch this out 36-17 with, 1:55 to go here, in the third quarter. And they've done it by hitting it to the hole. Oh, there we go again.
Good move. Keyshawn took off from the charity stripe, lost the ball halfway down, but then picked it up, bounce pass over to Dom coming from the right corner for the score.
It's amazing what happens when you get in that little
inside the 1-2-2 and hit that high post. Yep.
Well, and right now you've got, Lincoln trying to, push the ball and do stuff, and that's not their game.
Gabe Smith had a steal. BL3 was falling down. It became a 3-on-1 break for Lincoln. Jareris Rice Jr. commits the foul, but stops the layup because it was 3-on-1. It'll be his third foul. We knew it's 2 shots no matter what. And Gabe Smith will go to the line. He has not shot any tonight. He nails his first one. In the first half, 1 for 1 from Lincoln from the charity stripe. Second half, 5 for 7 right now, looking at 5 for 8.
Keyshawn, another board.
Keyshawn working on the double there. He's got 8 points in the quarter, so he's got 6 in the quarter.
That could have been over and back there.
He's got 10, so there's a double-double probably for sure there. Down to 1 minute. Keyshawn from the right corner to the left corner. Dom starts to make a drive. Oh, and a shuffle inside. Rice lost the handle, gets it back, saves it, gets it to Milton Whitfield. Whitfield left side, BL3. So we had good hands. We had a save or two. Whitfield's get the assist. BL3 will hit the 3. He's feeling it. 2 more left. Keyshawn almost with a steal. He tips it so BL3 has it. Kicks it right side. Dom Clay drives in, and a nice shuffle pass. Give Dom the assist. Give Rice Jr. the basket. Good ball handling, good ball movement.
This is more of the Blue Devil pace because, what was it, 22-10?
22-11
and a half. We've got 21 points in this quarter, so the defense has picked it up.
Well, that's what Coach was talking about. We knew that at halftime. Down to 12 seconds left in the quarter. Left side goes into the high post. Back here into the left corner. That's Miller with the ball. Down to 5 seconds. Back to the top. Devils playing good man. Tungate, long shot, no good. Keyshawn gets the rebound and a long one-hand toss. And it had too much.
That'd have been a Jerry West one if he made that one.
Well, he had a little curveball on that ball because it kept going from the backboard over to the left side. And we have ended third quarter. After 3, your Quincy High Blue Devils 43, the Lincoln Railsplitters 18. Come back for the fourth quarter and our favorite song right after this on mechasportsco.com.
Aches and pains are a normal part of life, but when they become too much, we have a team of orthopedic surgeons ready to give you relief. The need for joint replacements continue to rise, and our team stays up to date with the latest technology and robotic solutions. Every step of your journey matters to us. And when life throws you a curveball, trust Blessing Health's orthopedics and sports medicine team to get you back in the game. We've got you covered from head to toe.
Chuck Daddy.
Back at Blue Devil Gymnasium, as we just shared, you were talking about, what was your comment there? They kind of, right before we got there, and I said something about Flair and Sharon, because that's what Hoyt said one time on the air with me. I said that'd be a good shirt. Hoyt's down there by Chuck Daddy in the game.
Well, he's recruiting. He's got his whole staff out here, so.
Good deal, of course.
Well,
Jeff Overt was on that staff last year.
Well, and there's, plenty of people here to recruit, to be honest with you.
Fourth quarter, Devils will have the basketball with a nice 43-18 lead after 3. Lineup is BL3 at the point. Left side, Dom Clay. Left corner, Milton Whitfield. Down the block is Keyshawn Thomas. And Trace Ruth now on the right side. Triple team when Keyshawn got it. And then Keyshawn started to make a move. He had the nice shuffle pass. And when I talk about the shuffle pass around waist high, it's basically around the other guy. Had the pass down. BL3 was going in for the layup and got fouled. So Bradley will go to the line for the first time tonight.
Good movement by the Blue Devils. I mean, Keyshawn got the ball down there. He's double teamed, flipped it over to Brad, BL3, and, he went up, got fouled. I mean, it's they don't have anybody to guard Keyshawn. They don't have anybody to guard, BL3.
And Bradley hits both free throws out there. Makes it a 45-18 game. Foul was called on Komnick, his second. First of the fourth quarter for either team. Devils stay in that man-to-man. Ruth trying to trail in that play. Kicks it out in the right corner. No good on the shot. Weak side. Trace Ruth was up there with BL3. He said, hey, let me get this, and I'll give it back to you. That's Ruth getting the rebound. Nice little give and go, a little slip there. And that was a good play inside. Whitfield was going to tip it in with one hand, and it was a partial block there by Lincoln, but Whitfield stayed with it, and he got the second rebound and the putback.
I tell you what, when they get Rico Clay Jr. back with Whitfield and Rice, this is a very, very good bench coming off to where you can go 8 deep and not lose anything.
Very good defense, too. Foul call on the Devils.
Whitfield's so long. So active, getting the deflections.
Dom gets called for his second foul. First on the Devils in the fourth quarter, tied at 1-1. Inside 7 minutes left in the game. 47-18. Quincy High with the lead. Staying in that man-to-man. Used a little 1-2-2 a couple times, three-quarter courts early in the ball game. From the left side, trying to lob it inside. Gabe Smith was down on the block. Thomas tipped it away, but Gabe tracked it down.
Gabe Smith at 5'10" going up against Keyshawn.
Dom Clay with a steal.
Oh.
Dom tried to swing that dunk a little bit, and Dom was set up, and he came from a long way inside to get to that steal. Came on the right side and tried to do the, what do we call that?
Windmill.
There you go. Thank
you. The windmill, yeah.
The windmill was there. The ball hit the opposite side of the rim and flew out. I always loved doing that when we played ball. And when that ball came flying off the rim back to half court, they knew you had some force. Shot taken, no good.
I never got up that high.
That 8-foot basket. Keyshawn got the rebound in transition in the left corner.
Good rebound.
Whitfield missed the shot, but rebound by Ruth on the right side. He's got 2 rebounds while he's been in there. Devils with it back. Dom Clay, 21-foot off the right side, no good. Whitfield flashes down, tries to take it away from Gabe Smith. Here comes Lincoln with the basketball. Hands that ball off to Tungate on the right side. Ball with 2 passes makes it to the left wing. Violovich.
Good ball pressure by the Blue Devils on defense.
Ruth doing a good job of defense on Gabe Smith on the drive. Keyshawn flies in to get the rebound.
Took it away from BL3.
Just racking up that record that will be way up there when he finishes his career. BL3 starts to drive. Looking in. Oh, and a great job. Whitfield. Whitfield was coming in from the right side. Missed it. Got his rebound and the putback. And we always call that the Jody shoot because you get a couple of your rebounds and get a putback. Every time down, you get a basket, maybe 3 or 4 rebounds.
Now, if I was BL3, I'd be mad because I didn't get my assist. You get my dime.
There you go. Approaching 5 minutes left. Devils opening this up to a 49-18 game. Devils right now on a run all the way back. 11-point run that went back into the last quarter. Only giving up 7 points in that third quarter. Devils been staunch on defense. Inside 5 minutes. Driving to the basket. Keyshawn reached in. And Komnick will move. He won't go to the line since he was not shooting. Keyshawn not happy with that one. Keyshawn's first foul of the night. Second on the Devils. He gets a break. Louthan comes back in.
And you probably won't see Keyshawn rest of the game because, 4:30 to go, up by 31 here, 49-18. So.
And we'll see the clock continue to run as we'll have the running clock here. So getting subs in will have to be quick. Ruth on defense on Smith in the right corner. Devils still doing a good job matching up. Way out far. Shot was missed by Miller at about 25 feet. Longcore got the rebound. Dom Clay went all the way down to the block and got 2 feet on it, then had it blocked. But between Whitfield and Clay, there's a steal. Clay, it should have been called for a charge there. He pushed off a little bit, but Dom went in strong and scores. Good job by him and Whitfield closing out on that one.
Well, we hit our 50 tonight.
51-18. BL3. Actually, Dom Clay flew by Miller here in the corner in front of us. Dom thought he traveled. Not him personally, but Miller. For Dom now, that was his third foul, 2 in the second half. We've done a lot more fouling, but we've also picked up our defensive intensity. And that's all good. They go hand in hand.
Well, and Dom's sitting there arguing, and BL3 is like, get your guy. Let's go.
Long 3 from the left side, no good. BL3 from the weak side with the easy rebound. lost it behind the back on his butt for a second there. That was interesting because he started to go there. It kind of stopped.
Oh, yeah.
He got it back. Foul called as all the subs come off the bench. Foul was called on that time by, well, they haven't changed it. There it is. Tungate commits his second foul for Lincoln. Second team foul. And here comes all the guys in as the round of applause. Trace Ruth got in there and got a couple rebounds and a couple keys, knowing that the guys were going to come in, the next group. So Jacob Salisbury, Max Wires, Avion Tate, Emmerich Batley, and Nathan Poulter are guys in there. Some of these guys not only trying to get playing time for the rest of the year, but the juniors trying to work for next year. Batley in the left corner, back to the top. Salisbury. Right side, Max Wires. They just can't wait for him to fire a three. Max drives the baseline. Max drives the baseline, and as a linebacker, uses his left hand to clear out. They won't let him do that in basketball. So Max gets called for a foul.
Two different sports.
He did. He had that left arm out saying, I got it out here, and I'm looking like a running back.
I'm taking this ball to the hole. Get out my way.
2 minutes as it comes down, and it's going to be running, by the way. 51-18. Stick around for the postgame show. The Hardee's postgame show, 30th and Broadway. We'll have that. We'll also have our coaches' comments and our player of the game. Devils will improve to 18-1. 7-0 in the conference, stays there until we pick up our next game next week against Geneseo. Nice three-pointer from outside.
And then it'll be 8-0 in the conference.
Vyhovich.
Yeah, well, yeah, 8-0.
Vyhovich with there, and that was a run of 13 points for the Devils. They had runs of 9 in the first half, 8 and 13. Devils in the half-court set. Getting caught on the baseline was Poulter. Tried to pass it out. Taken away. Preston Short for Lincoln. On the left side, long three-pointer, no good. Jacob Salisbury comes down for the rebound. Down the right side, Tate in the right corner. He put the ball out in front. The ball was knocked away.
Stepped on the line, looks like.
He must have, because Tate did a good job of saving it all the way back out to Batley. But Mr. Schaefer had it called as he was right there on the play. Devils look good tonight. We knew that our defense could play and match Lincoln. And then our offense just had to get on the roll in the second half. Max Wires get the rebound. That was after two players got banged in there. Here come the Devils. Batley starts to go in. Stepping in on defense was Tate Ave. Tate A-U-E, Jump ball. We'll go back to Lincoln. As they wait around, it's dwindled down to 25 seconds. Devils saw the fans, heard the first win of the week, saw the next two, so a three-peat for the week.
Well, they saw all three.
That's right, because we did
they
have that
saw
up
all
there.
three.
Radio guys, I keep forgetting that. 7 seconds. Shot, no good. Bounces in the short corner. Saves, back out. Shot from three, no good. And the last rebound, Tate takes it away from Poulter. And, of course, Poulter shakes the braids. Wasn't really dreadlocks. And that's the final as you heard the horn and the band begins to play. The Devils taking care of business on a slowed down night. Win at 51-21. They led 11-5 after one, 22-11 at the half, 43-18 after three, and close out 51-21. And so a second half of 10 on that. And a good job by the Devils.
Well, much better job second half, attacking the 1-2-2, getting in the seams. Keyshawn got involved, second half with sealing and whatever, but getting into the lane and then making your passes for the wide open threes or the easy layups, that's what carried the Blue Devils second half. And this is a good test for them because, you might have some teams out there in Chicago that play this, going down the road. You're going to have people doing a lot of different stuff against you, to try to slow you down, and good job tonight, second half, making the adjustments and, getting the ball to the paint, and then with easy looks.
Discipline, of course, on the other side. Discipline on our side to ratchet up the defense in the second half and pull out the win tonight. Our 18th victory against one loss on the season. That'll do it for the regular portion of our broadcast. Stick around. Coach Pettit and I will have the follow-up in the Hardee's post-game show From Blue Devil Gymnasium, your final, the Blue Devils 51, the Railsplitters 21, and you've been watching and listening to Blue Devil Basketball right here on MeccaSportsCo.com.
Freiburg Insurance in Quincy is your local independent Pekin insurance agency. They're part of the community, and no one knows your insurance needs better than your friends and neighbors. Whether it's business, home, auto, or life, Pekin Insurance and Freiburg Insurance are ready to discuss your specific needs in person. Call them at 217-224-7774 and learn why it's always better to talk insurance with friends.
If you're building a house, remodeling an older home, thinking about a new deck, or need a whole new kitchen, Woodmart is your project partner. Since 1978, Woodmart has been the most trusted building materials and kitchen and bath design company in the Quincy area. At Woodmart, you'll find enthusiastic, experienced professionals helping you through every phase of your project. We offer smart advice for the contractor or do-it-yourselfer and top-quality materials. Woodmart Building Center, 2000 North 12th, Quincy, your project partner since 1978.
Start your day off the right way at Hardee's.
We have new items for our breakfast 2 for $5. You can get us biscuits and gravy, sausage egg, or cinnamon roll. Any two of those for $5. You can't beat a made-from-scratch biscuit here at Hardee's. Sausage egg, biscuits and gravy, or a cinnamon roll. 2 for $5.
Is there any place better for breakfast than Hardee's? Come see for yourself. Hardee's at 30th and Broadway, Quincy.
And welcome back to Blue Devil Gymnasium. This is the Hardee's Postgame Show from 30th and Broadway. Brian Harms. Stop by and see him tomorrow.
Well, we're not 30th and Broadway now. We're close, though.
And maybe tomorrow morning a Frisco sandwich would be a good one out there on there. Or stop by. I'm not sure what time they're open till. A lot of those places used to be open at night, but I found out that a local grocery store shuts down at 10 o'clock last night while I'm trying to pick stuff up. And the funniest part was I'm in there with a referee friend I saw. Of the 4 or 5 people in the store, I knew them all, and I still couldn't get out of the store. And that's in fact, the one said, "Weren't you done talking enough on the air tonight?" I said, "Obviously not." So, hey, here's the way the game went tonight. Quincy High opened up with the first 2 points of the game. A 3-pointer on the other side. I think that was a bank shot, if I remember back all the way to that point. And we've had one from an opponent in each of the last 3 games with a bank. 3-2 Lincoln. Devils on a 9-point run, led 11-5 after 1. We gave them a bucket at the end of the quarter. Second quarter, the Devils had a 9-point run. That 7 of those were in the end of the half, and it built up a 22-11 lead. They started off the second half with 2. After back and forth, the Devils were up 26-16. 8 points later, we're up 34-16. We popped in, gave them a free throw. We scored 2 baskets. In fact, those 2 were 3-pointers by BL3. We gave them another free throw. We scored 2 more baskets. Those were 2-pointers each. And then we got into the fourth quarter up 43-18, and we put the next 9 points out there as 4 more from the third quarter. If you can follow all this, it was a 13-point run. That made it 51-18, and the last 3-pointer hit by the Lincoln squad, the final 51-21. That's a lot of talking for a low score.
Oh, yeah. Well, I tell you what, the Blue Devils adjusted to who they were playing tonight, and especially second half, taking the ball, getting it into the paint, and then, distributing. I thought that was a big key. They started pushing the ball more. Lincoln made it as ugly as they could. Let's face it, because if they're going to win games, it's going to be 44-43. They made it as ugly as they could. And, to be honest with you, the Blue Devils showed, why they are they're state championship material here. Is what I'm talking about, especially with their defense, and the way they get after it and the way they adjust on the offensive end. They're state championship material.
Well, there's no doubt, Coach. We've talked about the work in the offseason that has made it that way, because we've talked about teams we've watched before, including our Devils, that you think, okay, can we get by this or a team like this? This year it's not can we, it's will we. And most of that is yes with that. So 51-21. Let's break down the scoring first of all. For Lincoln, and I forgot what they were to come in. I think they were 10-7, so it makes them 10-8 as they lost to Springfield.
Yep.
And who was the one that just last night I mentioned? Oh, darn it. I know it was so far back in the pregame. Lamfair, 44-30. So they lost to 2 of the Springfield teams in the last 2 ball games. They were led in scoring 6 points from Brody Tungate, 5 points out of Brady Miller, 4 points from Blake Horn, 3 out of Gabe Smith, and 3 out of Bryce Viholovich. And I believe Preston Short was also in the game, and starting the game was Carson Komnick. He did not score, so they did go 7 deep tonight. On the Devils side, BL3, 5 3-pointers in the night. He had 23 points. Keyshawn with 10 points. Definitely a double-double. He had 10-plus rebounds. I'm going to say probably 12, maybe 13 on that. 6 points out of Dom Clay. 6 points also from Milton Whitfield off the bench. And then we dropped down to 2 points each by Jarius Rice Jr., 2 points by Cameron Wires, and 2 by Mark Louthan. In the ball game but not scoring, Jacob Salisbury, Nathan Polton. Trace Ruth came in and spotted before the last group came in. Avion Tate, Emmerich Batley, and Max Wires, and that rounds out 51 for the Devils. All right, time to pick your player of the game while we have the chance. What you got? I think pretty easy.
Yeah, very easy. BL3 tonight was, tremendous. And with those 23 points that he had to have at least 5 or 6 good assists, easy assists. And I know 5 or 6, you look at it and go, oh, no. 51-21 game, you have 5 or 6 assists and scored 23 points. You have, basically taken over more than half, of what you've done. So great job by BL3 tonight. I think he steps out a little bit more, than the rest of the kids. But, defensively, unbelievable job by the Blue Devils.
Yep, I would even thought he maybe had more assists. But like we said, when you look like a game, when it's that low scoring, we didn't have as many, but they were some good passes.
Well, if he had 6 assists, that's another 12 on his 23. So he accounted for 35 of the 51 points, which – gosh, that's unbelievable job tonight by BL3.
Indeed. So our player of the game brought to you by Freiburg Insurance Agency. Bradley Longcord III is 23, but a lot more. And he only had 2 free throws in the fourth. Obviously, he could have added a lot more on that.
Yeah.
We'll take our break from our sponsor. When we return, more of the postgame show with Wellman and Pettit here on MeccaSportsCo.com.
Freiburg Insurance, your local independent Pekin insurance partner, is proud to support young people in sports and academics in the Quincy area. After the game, make a note to stop by their office and discuss your current policies and future needs for your business, home, auto, and family. Pekin Insurance offers a variety of plans to meet your coverage needs. Give Freiburg Insurance a call at 217-224-7774. Go Devils.
Back to Blue Devil Gymnasium, we say bye to Frank Cash. Frank's had a long day. By the way, congratulations to the Quincy wrestling team. They won the Quincy Invite. I saw Coach last night in Ivy, one of those 5 people I did see and ended up talking to him. That was that way back in the day, and I did say a grocery store, since nobody's sponsoring us in that line there, unless they want to. But even late night, I'd be out there at midnight, and it seems like I'm always running across people in there, and that's just what happens when you're from a small town and you love getting out. So, good job by the Devils. They get the victory. We check that one off, and a good week of 3 victories here. That was pretty awesome as well. And we look at next week. The Devils don't play again until next Friday, and that will be Geneseo at the start of the Quincy Shootout. By the way,
that's gray out night.
That's right where I was heading there, gray out. Make sure you wear your gray Tom Lepper 54 shirt, whether you bought a short sleeve or a long sleeve. Should be great to see all those in the same gymnasium. First night of the shootout. And before that, though, on Thursday night, we will be in Geneseo as the Quincy High Blue Devil girls will travel up there. They've had a week off after last week at Rocky, and they'll play on Thursday night at 7 o'clock, January 23rd. Then on Friday, we come back here, Geneseo here. And then on Saturday, we've got the doubleheader. We start off with 12 o'clock with the girls taking on Millard North in the shootout here. Then it's Quincy High against Bishop O'Connell, Virginia, right? I believe
so, yes.
Again, so they're traveling here, so that should be a great matchup. It'll be a great weekend anyway. Eric Stratman, I saw him actually in the gym last night as he gets closer to the shootout, so we find him in here. So make sure to get out here next week, but if you're not, you're going to listen and watch. It'll be Thursday for the girls, Friday for the boys, and Saturday at noon and 7:30. So on that game there, they pushed that back a half hour to fit the shootout schedule. So
well,
make sure.
the shootouts, I mean, those are, one of those things where you got 10 games, in a day. And, if you have one overtime game or if you have one that takes a little longer or, whatever, it's always give a little bit extra time, during those shootouts.
Yeah, I've talked to a couple of people with the shootouts. Some of them are on the hour and a half, some on the hour and 45, and those on the hour and a half have even said we should go to the hour and 45 just to build in that 15 minutes because you could always wait around and shoot a little bit more. But when you start getting off track as the day goes along, the problem is really not so much with the teams, it's with your help. When you've got your scoring table and they switch out, or your announcers, or, again, the officials have to wait. So sometimes those things throw off everybody else, and they don't get a chance to go grab something to eat, or grab a bathroom break, which, sitting there long enough in a long day, as some guys and gals will do. But it should be a great one here next week. And actually, next week, and I got to figure a way out how to sneak away after the first game of the girls at Culver Stockton. They have alumni basketball week, and I was on the staff. I was also the radio announcer for the Culver Stockton Wildcats. They will honor that 90-91 team. I coached with Walton the year before when these guys were juniors. The senior group was in the Hall of Fame this summer. They will be honored then for the weekend. So if I get a chance, I can run over, spend about a half hour, an hour seeing the guys, and then get right back here for the second game. And, of course, that being a 7:30 game. And I also find myself maybe sitting in the gym and watching 3 or 4 games in between. So we'll see who all comes back, but congratulations. Frank Cash, by the way, he'll have the full loop on this conversation. We started with him. Frank was on our staff at Culver Stockton. It was Rod Walton, Tony Francis, down at Clopton now, but he spent some years at St. Louis University and then the head coach at Lindenwood when they went Division II with the women, and Frank Cash. So that was your little tidbit off of Quincy High. And going to Culver, which next year Cameron Wires will be there, so we'll have a chance to talk about Cameron Wires. And, by the way, I did see Jeremiah Talton had a good game, so he's back in the Lindenwood lineup. I did not follow up on the box score to see it because you heard me talking earlier that maybe Brad Hoyt could get him back here and playing for the Hawks. So we did see him out there. And Coach Alexander with Coach Kinehart. Mike spent many years at Payson, was at Quincy College for a big stint. Out at John Wood, now back with Quincy College as a volunteer assistant as well. So Mike's not that old either, because we're not that old. All right, we'll take a quick 30-second break. When we come back, we'll hear from the coaches' comments right here on MeccaSportsCo.com.
Dreaming of a new kitchen or bath that's as functional as it is beautiful? At Woodmart Building Center, we bring your vision to life. Choose from a wide variety of cabinetry finishes and styles to fit any space and budget. Our expert designers work with you every step of the way to create a space that's uniquely yours. From timeless classics to modern masterpieces, your dream kitchen or bath starts here. Visit Woodmart Building Center today. Find us at woodmartbuildingcenter.com or stop by our showroom at North 12th and Seminary Road, Quincy.
And back at Blue Devil Gymnasium, Jeff Wellman, Dave Pettit. Coach, we saw some good stuff this week. We saw a good victory up at Moline. We saw a good Rocky team come in here, and we beat them by 12, 56-44, as I keep throwing those numbers in my head. And then we close out the week after kind of a, I don't know, if we call Moline fast-paced, but they're more like us, I would think.
Yeah, they're in the middle. And then you got Rocky that wants to score 85, and to be honest with you, looking at, Rocky and Moline, and they scored 82, against a good Moline team, I was like, okay. And with us coming back and holding them to 44, and then tonight, going 21 now, not same thing as Rocky. Lincoln's not even close offensively to Rocky. But I thought we did a good job second half. Well, what did we get, like 35 points second half, give or take? Or 22 to 51. So like 30 points.
29 points.
In the second half. That's more of the pace. I mean, if you can get Lincoln up to 60 points a game, that's where they're not going to be able to keep up with you, So, I thought they did a good job tonight, especially second half, getting in the seams of a very, very good 1-2-2 defense, and getting some easy looks, and that's, like I say, that's a good thing to where you can adjust, when you get into the playoffs. I mean, you get a team that, we've played man-to-man all year, but, now we're going to, switch it up and do half and half or whatever. You can see the Blue Devils can make their adjustments, and take care of business.
Indeed, there. Last night was a tough night. We only had 1 3. blamed Jimmy Louthan. Louthan said, hey, Vandeman's getting all the comments, and then boom, won. As we say hi to Kevin and Brenda Vandeman here, as last night we joked here, Jimmy Louthan made the comment how many three-pointers we're hitting and how much we're here in WoodmartBuildingCenter.com. And so Kevin and Brenda coming out there, and only one three-pointer last night. We picked it up tonight. We're getting closer for BL3 as well. As Coach comes over and gets his headset, we'll bring down him and Pettit as they always start rattling around there with the headsets. Coach, first of all, congratulations on the victory tonight. We did see a slower pace. And in the first half, you know, there's people who will say, run, Devils, run. Let's just pick it up and go. And you can generate that from the defensive side. But in a disciplined team on offense that uses a lot of clock, it takes a while. And so when you're at half and you're up 22-11, you got to feel good. You've only given up 11. But I really think even though the offense got better in the second half, so did the defense.
Yeah, that was the big turnaround for us. And honestly, it was both Tuesday, Friday night, and again tonight. Defensively, being able to turn it up. You know, I thought we did a really good job of putting pressure on the basketball a little more than normal than what we've been able to do. You obviously don't have the quick guys like Rocky has, but we were able to turn it up there, and then off the ball, be a little more aggressive, physical in our gap, and you know, was able to turn them over a few times, which is good for us. It gives them an opportunity to get out and run, and you know, we got a chance to see the ball go through the rim a couple in transition.
Yeah, last night we only had one three-pointer. Tonight, only one guy hit him, but he had 5, and he got within 2 now of Jeremiah. He'll be 2, and he'll tie, and then 3 did win there. BL3 had a pretty good game there, and it's again, he only played 3 quarters. Last quarter, he went 2 for 2, but offensively, he had a nice night.
Yeah, he was great. He was great. I'm still in awe of how quick he gets the ball out of his hands when he catches. There's not too many people. Peja Stojakovic, obviously me being a big Doug Christie fan, I watched him play quite a bit, but Peja was the type of guy that he could catch it right at his face and then go right up. Klay Thompson, same way, and Brad gets it off so quick. He reminds me a lot of those guys, but picked his spots. He kind of got us going. You know, later on there in the second quarter, just finding gaps and attacking the paint and being able to see the floor as well as he does. You know, he had quite a few assists to guys that were, you know, cutting through to the paint as well.
And that's what we were talking about, getting there. Coach thought he had at least 5 assists out there. And Coach has been talking about his mid-range game. But what's great is not only has he the quick shot, but he slows things down. He changes direction. I mean, it's been really nice. Makes a ball fake to get wide open, does all those little things. And then when those guys get out of position, we find Keyshawn, which we did tonight. But Keyshawn still had a load, 10 points, and I'll bet you double-double, probably had 12 to 13 rebounds.
Absolutely. You know, he was great on the boards. You know, continue to be impressed with him. But then also you throw in Jarius Rice, who comes in off the bench and wants to go after the offensive rebound. Had a couple big ones last night against Rocky, and then Milton Whitfield, same thing. You know, and both of those guys, you know, nothing against Key, but Key's not getting off the ground that quick. Milton and Jarius get off extremely quick, and they're able to, you know, bounce and get to the ball before other people do. And it's been really fun watching those guys, you know, find their role within the team and come in and play that role really well.
Well, and the thing that I saw second half, you guys were penetrating the zone.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I mean? I mean, first half is more passing around the outside and, you know, getting shots. You know, second half, you know, BL3 did a great job getting into the paint, you know, and then making those little passes and finishing.
Well, it's you know, we were a little too passive. You know, we said at the very beginning we didn't want to settle for just forced three-point shots because we didn't do anything else with it. And I thought we didn't settle for outside shots, but we didn't attack the paint the way that we should have. We were just looking to make passes to the middle of the paint, passes to the short corner, instead of attacking those areas, attacking those gaps. And second half was a big difference for us.
Yeah, and I tell you what, your bench, love the bench.
Yeah.
The 3 guys, well, Rico hadn't been here the last couple of days, you know, because of other commitments, obviously.
Yep.
But, you know, your bench, you know, you got 3 guys that you could put in there at different spots, you know, for your bigs, your mids, and your guards, you know, to where that's going to bode well, you know, for the rest of the year.
And it's great, too, having a guy like Milton that you can throw in that can play either, you know, inside or out. You know, he's strong enough where he can play inside and have an impact. And obviously he's proven that he can play on the perimeter as well. But, no, it is. Our bench is great. And then, you know, Trace Ruth. You know, Trace is another one. He had a really good week of practice this week, and so he's competing for a spot, you know, more playing time. But there's a lot of guys out there, a lot of really talented guys out there that are playing pretty well right now.
You talk about Milton. He actually took away an assist, at least one of BL3s, but he got a couple extra rebounds when you get your own offensive rebound.
Right.
By the way, I was going to mention Rico, and he did first. Rico had a commitment for the weekend. It was Illinois State, right?
Illinois State official visit. So he's there for the weekend, and football's what he does, and we understand that. And it's not an easy decision for him. I told him it's not up to me. This is you, man. You make the decision. I'm not going to be, mad at you either way. I get it, and we knew that coming into the season. And, I've been really proud of Rico. I've been really proud of Jaraeus. Their mentality has changed a lot from last year to this year, and both of them have done a really good job.
And, of course, if you remember last year, there was a football player that we didn't have to see 1 week, and that was Lucas Austin as he was going, and that was a good thing we didn't see him.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, Coach, we got the weekend done. Now we've got a whole week. What do you do with a week before we come back to play?
I'll tell you what we're doing. We're taking Sunday and Monday off. That's for sure. We don't have a weekend, a Saturday off the rest of the season, and we've really only had one. Other than Christmas, we've only had one. So the guys have earned it. They've earned a day off. Now I say that, and they're going to be in the gym getting shots up anyway, but that's fine. A couple days off, and then we're back to work on Tuesday. Getting prepared for what's going to be a really fun weekend.
Yep, of course, the first night will be gray out. We'll be having TL 54 all over the gymnasium with the gray shirts, and then we've got a tough opponent in Bishop O'Connell on Saturday night.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be a fun one.
All right, well, enjoy your week. Enjoy your couple days off there. Enjoy the family, and always have fun when they're around here. And great job, Coach.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Good to see you guys.
And Coach's comments, of course, brought to you by the QHS Auto Group, Faith, Family, and Giving Back. And he, of course, got a great family there as well as we wrap this one up. There's Coach's comments. Check them off. Coach, any last thoughts as we close out here?
Well, a good, solid victory tonight. They made their adjustments, at halftime. Came out, attacked the zone a lot better defensively. This might be one of the best defensive teams, in the state of Illinois.
And they're definitely up at the top there with the record and everything else as the Devils go to 18-1. It wasn't a conference game, so we didn't go anywhere there. But the Devils win 3 games this week. They end up at the top of the Western Big Six as well. And we get ready for a good run here. Last 4.5 weeks before the postseason here. For Coach Pettit, I'm Jeff Wellman. The final score here at Blue Devil Gymnasium, your Quincy High Blue Devils 51, the Lincoln Railsplitters 21. And you've been watching and listening to Blue Devil basketball right here on MeccaSportsCo.com. Good night, everyone.
Bet you outdrive you this hole.
If you outdrive me, I'll take $10,000 off every car sold at QHS Quincy this month.
Daddy needs a new ride.
Good things are happening at Hardee's, right, Brian?
Here at Hardee's, we have a new $6.99 original bag. And you get 2 sandwiches, a fry, and a drink. You have your choice for the sandwiches between a regular hot ham and cheese, regular roast beef, double cheeseburger, or one of our chicken tender wraps. So you can pick any 2 of those, get a hot fry and a cold drink for only $6.99 here at Hardee's on 30th and Broadway.
That's Hardee's at 30th and Broadway, Quincy.